Hi everyone, it's Ziggy here. Welcome back to my channel. By popular demand, I'm going to tell you the three main reasons why I chose to go tiny and live in my beautiful tiny house here. Let's get to it. So before we get cracking, I just wanted to mention a couple of thank yous. First of all, thank you to my amazing subscribers who always watch and who ask me lots of questions. Thank you so much. I'm going to do a special video for you guys just answering your questions, so thank you. Also want to say thank you to my patrons over on the Patreon page who get quite a bit more extra than what just shows on the channel. So if you're interested in being a patron, who I love, thank you, then you'll find the link to that down in the description. Let's get started on the three reasons why I chose to live in a tiny house on wheels. So reason number one is really around money and finances. I did own an apartment on the Gold Coast in Queensland. Loved the apartment, but I was a bit of a slave to the mortgage, and all I was doing was going to work to pay the mortgage. So it was more about the bank owned me than I owned my apartment. I just wasn't able to see that continuing long term. On top of that, I also developed this degenerative spinal issue, which means for me now full-time work at least, it's really difficult because I fall over, I lose my balance quite a lot. And sometimes I can't walk too well, sometimes I can't use my hands very well. So I was a little bit worried about, if I can't earn money, how do I pay that mortgage? And I'd been thinking about tiny houses like mine for many years, but never been in a position to do it. Having discussed it with my family, I took the plunge. I sold my apartment, and with the money I built my tiny house. So now I have no concerns. I own my house outright, which is so liberating, I have to tell you. You know, when you don't have to worry about money every single week and how am I going to pay the mortgage this week and how is this going to get done. I don't have those worries anymore. So life is a lot more stress-free for me, which is great. Number two was about my desire to live more minimally, to make sure that I was using items that I need, not necessarily items that I want. I realized, for instance, that I had 3 dinner sets and 2 cutlery sets. Why? I felt that owning all of that stuff was just buying into consumerism, and so I gave away, or I donated, or I sold about 75%, probably more than that, maybe 80% of my possessions, and I haven't missed a single thing of those possessions since they went, and that was 8 months ago. Not one thing have I missed. So that proves to me that I don't need a lot of stuff to live harmoniously and to live without stress and to live productively and to live a full life. I don't need stuff. In the tiny house, because storage and space per se is at a premium, I'm now forced to think very hard before I go and buy something else. Because if I buy something else, then something else has to be given away so that there's room for that to come into both my house and my life. And I find as well that denying myself all of that stuff does not deny me a fulfilling life. In fact, it frees me up to have an even better life. So I'm really pleased that I had the courage eventually to say, I don't need all these possessions, let's let them go. So that was my second reason. My third reason is very linked to my second reason, and that is that I wanted to live a more minimalist lifestyle that had less of an impact, less of a footprint on our planet. And so while my house is new and that has all new materials, I decided that my garden, for instance, would all be developed and built and so on with as much second-hand recycled products as possible. So all my plant pots, all of those kind of things, they're all upcycled. And as much as possible now within my tiny house, within my life per se, I really want to live a life which doesn't impact negatively on our planet. I'm over 60 years old now. I've had 60 years to bash my planet with my lifestyle, which wasn't excessive by any means, but I was a consumer. And so I need to nurture our planet, particularly in these days when humanity seems to be doing its utmost to destroy planet Earth. I, for one, would just like to be one of those people that nurture planet Earth, that ceases to destroy her and supports her by not buying everything and looking after her. So I try and buy things like organic vegetables, local produce. I want to try and support not just my locality, but by doing so, I feel little things like I'm lessening the carbon footprint because I'm not utilizing things that have had to go on a truck or a ship, you know, halfway across the world. I really want to leave a planet that's in a decent state to my children and my grandchildren. And while I might just be one person that's doing that, if there are lots of one people doing that together, we can nurture our planet rather than continue to destroy it. So that's my 3 reasons for going tiny. I'd be really interested to know, what is your reason? Can you comment below and tell me, what is your motivation to go tiny? What makes you want to live in a tiny? Or if you already do, what makes you want to continue to do that? If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there. And don't forget about Patreon as well. The link to that is down in the description, because my patrons get to see a whole lot more than what comes up on YouTube. So it's going to be a great community, that one. All right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's bye from little Bella here, and it's bye from me. Take care, everyone. Bye.